I'm Gideon Kibirige, and I'm studying Bachelor's of Science in Petroleum Geoscience and Production Engineering at Makerere University, and I am currently the president of the Makerere University Students Chapter. Actually, what got me interested in oil and gas basically is its ability to really change lives. I think the oil sector has been one of the greatest successes and one industry that is able to really play a great impact in the world and a positive influence both economically, culturally, socially, and many other aspects. The Makerere Students SPE chapter is not a very new chapter. It was said in 2012. And basically it involves students, but not only students. Right now we have expanded into some professional members. We have some of our alumni coming back to really sponsor activities, and we really engage a lot with the government. As Makerere University is the biggest university in East and Sub-Saharan Africa, so the SPE chapter here is really powerful, and it engages a lot with the government of Uganda and the whole East Africa basically, and many universities across the region, to really see how best to exploit Uganda's natural resources and bring about a holistic approach to developing these resources basically. Looking at the global outlook of the oil industry, of course we're coming from a season of very low oil prices, but I think the industry right now is facing a great rebound, and we're really reaching a point where the industry is picking up a lot of synergies, with everyone around, and there is a lot of activity going on right now. And as Uganda, we're about to reach the stage of the final investment decision, and so many oil majors already in the country, Sinok, Total, Talo, to really make sure that these resources are well developed. So basically it comes from the global outlook down to the country outlook, because I think the global oil economy really determines a lot what's happening in Uganda. But I think given that right now it's becoming positive, Uganda also becoming positive, so I'm really happy about that. The biggest challenge being faced by the oil industry is not actually the employment. There are a lot of jobs in the oil industry, but the ability for people to have the knowledge that creates more employment, the ability for people to have the background knowledge towards the oil sector, that training, that information is so obscure as I speak. It is very, very hard to access it, and it's really a big challenge for me, because if people had that access to that knowledge, they would be able to create more avenues, they would be able to create more channels of employment, they would be able to create better investment, not just looking for that job in maybe a certain service company or an oil company, but maybe even create jobs, given the different activities. Maybe it could be about waste management or anything of the sort. So I think the biggest challenge facing the oil industry right now is not actually the employment, but the ability to have information, the availability, the ability to attain the right kind of information that can make people generate money, that can make people generate greater environmental impact, that can make people generate really a better future. Training the oil and gas industry is not up to date. Actually, it's not what I expect, and it's really a big challenge, like I mentioned earlier, because most times in companies, when you enter companies are always hoarding information, and I think that is a very big problem. They don't teach you how to be able to sustain the environment, or to sustain yourself, or to sustain the economy. They teach you how to sustain the companies. They give you a niche to work on for very many years, which is very monotonous, and it doesn't benefit the person. So it's a very big challenge in training. I think companies should become more holistic. Companies should become more incorporating of the people they employ, and they shouldn't always try to keep people away from certain kinds of information, because it really affects the perspective of the whole oil industry in general. I think the great thing about Norwell EDGE is that It has been able to break barriers to access to information. It has been able to break barriers to the way the information is given to the people, not in a piecewise format, but whole, so that people are able to really get the feel of what exactly goes on in the whole industry, right from its inception up to the moment the products come out to be consumed by society. So the great thing about EDGE is its accessibility, and then one thing I really love about it is the affordability. Really, it's hard enough to access to get a job in a company. Then they tell you that maybe to access certain kinds of training you have to pay upfront maybe thousands of dollars. But Norwell EDGE is not the same. It's not like that. Norwell EDGE actually gives us the same information at a much, can I say, pocket-friendly rate. In 10 years, I see myself as a global influencer. I see myself as someone who will have mastered in oil by that time, and then I'll be not only mastering for myself but mastering for society, and I'll be able to also, like Norwell EDGE, maybe break the barriers that are affecting that I feel affect me as a student right now and that affect the industry today. I hope I'll be able to reach that kind of level where I'm able to innovate solutions or be able to at least change the perspectives about the oil industry, because many times people think the oil industry is maybe something that is really, they don't understand it so well, but they also don't know that it's one of the greatest industries that has had the greatest impact on the global economy in the past few hundred years. So I really hope I'll be able to innovate solutions.